Hello everyone, Merry Morning here, and I am doing a tarot tag, one that was created by Arwen Lynch, and it's called the Tarot Tag 15 Questions About Tarot. So let's just get started. What is your current favorite deck? So I kind of pulled two decks for that one, because this is the one I normally use when I'm reading for people. I carry it in my purse, so everywhere I go I'll have it. It's the Witch's Tarot right here. There's some really beautiful, oh, I love that Magician. Some really beautiful cards, and they're vivid colors. Super easy to read from. So that would be my favorite working deck. I guess you could call it that, because if I'm reading for somebody, there's crystals in there. If I'm reading for somebody or out somewhere, that's the one I use. Right now, my own personal favorite deck is a new one that I picked up, and I believe it's called Tarot of the Moon. I'm just kind of loving this one. It's very fantasy. Fairies and butterflies, all that sort of thing in it. Very pretty artwork. Just kind of in love with it right now, so that seems to be my personal deck right now. And let's see, second question. What tarot card do you think stands for who you are now? Well, I have two tarot cards that are sort of mine. So I'll start with the Star, because that was the first personal card that I picked, or significator that I picked. It's also my card for me because I'm Aquarius. But I was always drawn to the Star card anyways. I sort of thought of wishing upon a star, you know, that kind of thing, like just drawn to the artwork always for the Star. But I feel like my lifelong card would be Strength. And I'm pretty connected to that one because my life number, if you follow numerology, is a number 8. So the Strength card being a number 8. It also has an infinity symbol. It shows a woman normally with a lion, like she's taming the lion, and my husband is a Leo. So this card just seems to perfectly describe me. So I've chosen that one for right now. What tarot card do you think stands for who you want to be? Who do I want to be? Well, that's interesting. Obviously the High Priestess, for her stability and hidden knowledge and her intuition. Always drawn to that one. The Magician as well. Yeah, I would have to go with the High Priestess, I suppose. I even have a mug that says High Priestess on it, so. Let's see. Draw a tarot card and tell us how it answers the question. What does the universe want you to know right now? What does the universe want me to know right now? Let's see. I'm going to use my moon deck. What does the universe want me to know? Let's see. Page of Staffs. Maybe I need to get started on creativity, get going. I need some moving forward on creativity right now. That seems very appropriate. Yeah, I like that card. Stop messing around with YouTube videos and go get some sewing done. That could be it. Let's see. Do you have any cards that you must love in order to work with a tarot deck? the cards that I mentioned before. The Star, the Strength card, the Magician, the Empress, the High Priestess. Those are kind of my go-to cards. Temperance sometimes as well. Why tarot and not some other type of divination system? Well, tarot was my first love, my first type of divination. My mother had a deck of the Rider-Waite-Smith cards, so I would play with those when I was little. I didn't know what they were, didn't know what the meanings were, just enjoyed the pictures. I love the artwork, it just kind of speaks to me. I think that's why, you know, a lot of us tarot readers end up collecting so many decks, is that we just are visual people and we're drawn to the visual aspect of tarot and the way when you can lay the cards out, they tell a story. I love doing that. I also do spells with tarot, so if you lay out your story of what you want and set your intention, you can do a spell with tarot. Yeah, I guess just because of the storytelling capability of tarot would be my answer. What's the first book you can remember reading about tarot other than the Little White Book? Well, Little White Book is the book that comes with most tarot decks, but I do have my first tarot card, or tarot book, still. And it should be right behind me. And here it is. Tarot Made Easy. There it is. All its glory. Pages glued together. Coffee spilled on it. It's been loved. Tarot Made Easy by Nancy Guerin. So definitely worth it. I don't know what it was about that book. I had quite a few when I first started. I don't even have all the books that I had way back then. You know, I've given them away or whatever happened to them. But that's the go-to book. Other than, you know, books that come with decks, I always read through those. But I love to see all the different meanings that the authors will come up with. They always have a different spin from one author to the other, so I find that interesting. Let's see. What tarot person would you like to sit down with for a chat about tarot? I'm going to go with somebody that's not online. Somebody that I know who teaches tarot, and her name is Tiffany Lazick at Hive and Grove, and she has written a book, The Great Work, but she really should write a book about tarot, because I had been doing tarot since I think I started legitimately in like 91, 92 with my first real deck, which was the Enchanted Tarot, by the way. But when I took her class, which wasn't that long ago, maybe a year ago, I learned a lot. And what I found interesting about the way Tiffany sort of taught it is that she really looks into the psychology of tarot, puts together the esoteric meanings and the psychology, and how tarot shows the wheel of life. So I found that fascinating. And I found that a few cards that never kind of clicked for me, now I know, you know, like I have a good grasp on them. So you can look her up and pick up her Great Work book, but she doesn't have one on tarot yet, but she should do one. Let's see. Tell me about one YouTube tarot channel that you watch and why. Well, other than Arwen, who made this list up, I watch her on a regular basis, but I also watch the Rock and Roll Prophetess. She does a weekly tarot-scape, and I'm not sure what it is about her. Maybe it's just her personality that is easygoing. Just enjoy listening to her. She does them once a month for each sign. So they're definitely worth going and looking at. And she's done her own tarot deck, the rock and roll tarot deck, all of that stuff. So yeah, go check her out. How many tarot decks do you have? I'm gonna guess around 60. And I know that's not a lot for people that collect tarot because I'm pretty picky. And usually when I don't like a deck, I'll give it away. So I don't really tend to hold on to ones that I don't sort of bond with right away. You know, I'll give them a chance. I'll wait a little bit, you know, use them over and over again. But I don't hold on to them. If I don't like them, like immediately I'll know. And yeah, I'll end up giving them away to a friend who's just starting, who might enjoy that deck as their first deck kind of thing. So, let's see. Do you mix oracles and tarot when you read? Yes, of course, I do. I usually do a tarot spread and then I will pick one oracle with it. And I like doing that because you get a different perspective. It's just nice to mix the two, where a tarot is a certain type of, you know, they're all the same kind of layout. Like some companies or some designers will come up with, you know, different meanings for certain major cards and that, but they're pretty much all the same in that they pretty much follow the Rider-Waite-Smith kind of layout. And of course that's not all of them. You know, there's the Thoth deck and all of that, but for the most part they follow that one particular set of tarot cards that was made by Pamela Coleman Smith. And those are my favorite types. And as a tarot reader, my only pet peeve when I go to buy tarot cards is when they rename the majors. It's just, I really wish they wouldn't rename the majors. And I find it's always the scary cards. The scary cards. They always rename Death, or the Tower, or the Devil. You know, it doesn't take long to figure out what they are when you go through it, but that's my pet peeve. I love seeing different artwork, absolutely. Like, that's one of the reasons I collect all these tarot, is that there's all sorts of different artwork out there. But when they start renaming them, it drives me crazy. So, have you ever created your own tarot card or deck? Yes. I did a card in a class where we drew our own card and colored it in, and I believe I had fairies on mine, of course. So yeah, I've done that. I even have the set of Color Your Own Tarot, which I have not even opened yet. But that's not a possibility. I might get into that, and instead of giving it away to somebody, I might actually color my own tarot. Do you read for yourself? Yes. That's how I started. I say this almost in every video, but that's the best way for people to learn when they start out, is pull a card daily and keep a journal. So you could do even, you could do an oracle and a tarot daily. You could do only tarot with past, present, future. You can do tarot with mind, body, spirit. Pull 3 cards a day. But yeah, do one daily. Write down the meanings, what you get from it when you look at the card, like your gut instinct, your intuition. And then also look up the meaning of the card, so that you get both, so that you get, when you're learning. look at what your gut instinct is telling you and what the book is telling you. And then you eventually, just through practice, you're going to learn those cards. And you're going to learn what they mean to you personally, because you're going to start to see patterns of you pulling the same card when a certain situation is going on. You're going to pull that same card over and over again. So you're going to know what, right now I seem to be getting judgment a lot. I don't know if I like that. I keep pulling judgment lately. So yeah, that can be good or bad. I'm not really sure. But that's the first time I've been pulling judgment over and over and over again. So that's a new one for me. I usually get temperance or strength, Two of Pentacles, Two of Cups. Those are my normal cards that I pull all the time. What are your favorite questions to be asked when you do a reading for someone else? I like it when they ask me what their life purpose is, or what do my guides want to tell me. Maybe if they want to talk to a loved one that's passed over, what does that loved one want to tell me? It's not that I don't like any questions, like it's pretty much open, but I kind of hate the whole will I find a boyfriend question, or will I find a love question, because I think that sort of depends on the inner work that they do to be able to attract a partner. So it's not always clear. It doesn't always tell me, oh yeah, you're going to meet this guy. Well, you could meet this guy and then he turns out to be terrible. Like, you just don't know. So that's the only one I hate to hear. Of course, I do the reading for it, but I just find it's a kind of a muddy question. But I like to hear, what do my guides want to tell me, all that kind of stuff. Like I like that. Let's see. What's the craziest thing that's happened to you during a reading? So, when I watched Arwen's video, she was talking about how, I believe the story was, somebody's dead husband started talking, kind of thing. And I've had the same experience where this woman was doing a reading, and she didn't tell me that her husband had just passed, and we're talking like 2 months before that. Maybe a little long, maybe 3 months. But what was interesting about this lady was that she was talking to her dead husband on a daily basis. Like, he was talking to her on her own. She didn't need me to say anything. But I guess I confirmed whatever it was. She didn't tell me that's what I was doing, but all of a sudden I just kind of said, oh, somebody's here with us. I could feel his presence and his energy step in. And I just kind of, tried to say to him in my mind's eye, tell me what you want me to say to her, and send me an image, because I'm better at doing images, clairvoyance, than clairaudience. I can't really hear messages that well, but I can see it. And he was sending me these messages, and I would pass it along. I've learned not to try and change whatever it is they send to me. Just say it. Whether it makes sense or not, I just say it. And I guess it was confirmation for her. But part of the message was, you are a medium. You don't need to talk to anybody else. You're already doing it. So maybe she just needed the confidence. But that was a really interesting reading, and kind of special to me in that I helped her, figure out how she was communicating with him. So that was really neat. But that's the end of the 15 questions. So I'll put a link below so that you can go and find Arwen's original video and watch that. And I'll see if I can find links to the cards that I showed as well. So that's it. Thank you, and see you next time.